It's Friday morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. We're here for Friday morning live. This is the SPX and it's moving around. It's Friday. Thank God it's Friday. Yes. We're here. We're live. We're seeing what Friday has to offer us in the market. All kind of good stuff. You have to take every day as it comes. Take every day as it comes. You get up, you take a check at what is before you. You say your prayer, thank the Lord that he's giving you another opportunity to see what there is to see, and then you just run with it. You just run with it. You can get up with a anticipation. I think we should get up with a positive expectation and anticipation. We should look at things with the glass half full mindset. But just know, all kind of stuff can come at you, but it really comes down to how are you going to look at it for the day. Okay? How you going to look at it for the day? So many negative things can come at you. Doesn't mean you have to absorb them all and be into the woe is me viewpoint. Listen, there's so many things. But let's take what we see and run with it. Make the best of the situation. Make the best of what we have before us. Right? Make the best of it. Here we are. It's Friday morning. As the preachers say, I won't be before you long. I will not, because my community, we're live trading today, and we're going to start live trading at the bell today, because we're going to look at closing up our overnight trades. I want to be able to share with them how I do closing of overnight trades. What am I looking at? Even though we don't enter trades as sellers, I don't enter trades at 9:30. I don't enter stuff at 9:30. If I have overnight trades as a seller, because I trade as a seller, right? If I have overnight trades, I will be, setting. Actually, I've already usually set close orders, but I'm looking to see where prices are in the morning when the market opens. So I'm taking that first a little bit of time to close stuff and just to see where things are. I don't, I try not to make any knee-jerk reactions first thing in the morning, but I want my community to see what I'm looking at and what I'm thinking about at 9:30 in the morning. Even if I'm not making any actions per se, I'm still processing the information. Okay, I may not be doing anything, but I'm looking to see what there may need to be done. Okay, what may need to be done. That's what I'm doing at 9:30. So my community is live trading together today. My community, the membership is live trading at 9:30, and I'm going to let E2T University people watch today, because that's not, those two things are separate. They are separado. But I'm going to allow them to watch today, because they really aren't together. But we're going to let them watch to see where we're going, and what, as you're learning things, how does all this marry together? Because it's one thing when you're learning it all disjointed, but then to see it in action is a different ball game. Hey, Tanya. Alrighty, so this is what SPX is doing right now in the pre-market. Actually, it's the ES that's moving, and we're seeing SPX 500, which is playing all night. So we're able to see that. But let's go and see what did SPX do yesterday, and what are we going to see for today? What's the dealio for today? What did we do yesterday? What are we going to do? Let me get some bigger time frames, because we're not trying to see every minute from yesterday. No, ma'am, no ham. Okay. This is the 15-minute chart of SPX from yesterday. SPX opened, it gapped up to 67.31, because it closed on Tuesday at 67.15. It opened on Wednesday at 67.30. No, Wednesday. So it closed on Wednesday. I'm getting my days mixed up. Closed on Wednesday at 67.15. It opened on Thursday at 67.31, so popped up about 15 points, and it filled that gap. Ooh, I love a good gap fill. I be teaching, or either I'm commuting to school, or I'm teaching. But this gap fill right here, these gap fill plays would pay nicely. It's just I don't be in a place where I can watch them. But a gap fill, if I was in place, that's one thing I would do if I was in the seat at open time. I might, if I was a buyer. I'm not really a buyer, I'm a seller, but I would trade those gap fill at the open, because that could become some consistent money. But anyway, I don't do that. Anyway, the gap fill, and then it kept on filling. It went on, SPX went on down and down, 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 down to 66.93. Went down there. Actually, the support was, you see my line is already here, right around 6,700, which is a psychological number. Price wicked down a little bit, but it didn't stay down here. And then it bounced and rebounded. So then we put on, I actually did 60, 65.90, 65.95 as a trade to go back up. Once it showed signs of reversal, we went back the other way, and I did a trade to ride us back up. I didn't do a trade in the morning because during this time I'm teaching and I can't really watch a reversal. But when I saw this, I was coming out of the classroom, so I was able to trade and watch this go back up. And then it went up to about 67.21. Couldn't really get past there. Didn't get back up to the daily high, which was 67.30. And sometimes you can see the high of the day. Price don't always go back past the high of the day. That's another place that you could look sometimes to see as a resistance zone, because high of the day, generally price doesn't go back past that. But anyway, 67.20, it went back up there and kind of chilled out and then dropped off from there. All right. So I also did 67.20, 25. Did I do 20? Yeah, 20.25 at the end of the day was the trade I took to close in power hour. So I did two trades yesterday, 65.90, 95, put credit spread in 67.20.25 during power hour was my last trade. I took two trades yesterday. Made some decent money because I had some 1 DTE trades that had carried over, and I closed those while this price action was going. And then I had two trades during the 0 DTE day that we all did inside the membership. It's running along the bottom. If you're interested in trading with us in the membership, I do trade alerts. We do charting and training, and I also support and do guidance inside of our Telegram chat. Okay. That's what we did yesterday. I hope your yesterday was profitable. Hope you made a few dollars. If not, you need to consider joining us. You need to consider joining us over in the membership, because we're doing okay. We're doing okay over there. Doing okay. Sometimes we have some hiccups. We took a couple losses this week because that run up on, what was it, Monday, Tuesday, whichever was the last day of the month was Tuesday. That run up got us, because definitely wasn't thinking about end of the month, end of the quarter. That run up was fierce. And then government shutdown day. Who was expecting the market to run like crazy on a government shutdown day? So small loss on that day, but we made up for it yesterday. The VIX right now is at 1643. I saw one of the young ladies in my community said that the last time Trump was in office, the SPX, the market ran up 10% during the last time Trump was in office, and there was a shutdown. The last Trump government shutdown, the market ran up 10% during that period of time. That to me was a wow. So I'm not saying that's going to happen this time. I'm just saying that happened last time. There was a government shutdown and Trump was in office. SPX ran up 10%. We'll see how that goes. The VIX is at 1643. Hey, Janae. So 1643 is the VIX this morning. Let's see what Goldman Sachs or Goldman's Solomon expects the U.S. economy to accelerate. Goldman Sachs CEO David Solomon said the economy is still in pretty good shape despite tariffs and a slower U.S. job market. U.S. stock futures rise as AI hopes lift the spirits. Gold stocks trounce AI-driven chip rally with 135% gain in 2025. Yeah, gold has been on a tear this year for sure. You try to go somewhere and buy it. Well, we went to the flea market. We were in North Carolina at my uncle's, cousin's, aunt's birthday party. We've gone a couple times this year for different things. And we go to the flea market while we're there. And the flea market, sells random things, but in the flea market, there's a gold place where they're selling gold. And in the flea market at the gold place, which is out in the open, there are two armed security people at the gold station in the flea market. These armed dudes, like heavily armed at the place that's selling gold. Like, don't try it up in here, bro. Like, really? We got armed people. We strapped. Do not even. Okay. Something serious at the gold spot. Ain't been in. I'm thinking about what the gold souk in Dubai is looking like, and Bahrain. Oh my goodness. Oh, what those gold souks are looking like over there. Stock bulls can't get enough of S&P as rally enters manic zone. Yeah, because we're at all-time highs for real. Democrats dismiss Trump firing threats as shutdown drags on. Other ways to view the U.S. labor market beyond jobs report. Large fire erupts at Los Angeles area Chevron refinery. Oh, that's not good. BlackRock nears $40 billion data center deal and a bet on AI. That's one of the areas that you need to keep in mind is the data center. We're still pulling data, and the places in the data centers have to process that information and store that information. It's not necessarily, think about when you're looking at things to get into longer term. If you think about like the gold rush, the people who went in looking for gold, some of them got rich at the gold rush, but the people who really got rich at the gold rush were the people who sold the shovels. The people who sold the supplies to go and do the gold rushing, the people who sold the little baskets to collect your gold, those were the people who got rich. Keep that in mind as you start looking at things like AI, the people who are, or crypto, the companies that support the stuff that go across all these other companies. That's who, almost like with EV, the people who are the charging stations, those are going to support the EV. You have to look at those kinds of companies, right? Pfizer's drug price deal with Trump ended months of deadlock. EU to propose uniform rules, database startup, Superbase, JP Morgan banker says AI boom has US over indexing on nuclear. That nuclear thing is becoming a talk too. Gold is set for 7th weekly gain as US shut down clouds rate path. All right, moving on to the next screen. We can close this one up and we can close this one up. I can close stuff off. My computer won't work as hard. Come on, baby. Everything's green over in futures land. All right. The Dow is up 79. S&P futures up 7. NASDAQ futures up 28. Oil is green. US 10-year bonds are unchanged. Europe is mixed. The stock 600, FTSE Milano are all green. DAX and CAC are red. Asia, we've got 4 of them are green. The Hang Seng is red. Hitachi shares soar over 10% on partnership with OpenAI. Hitachi. Isn't Hitachi like I thought Hitachi was something else. Why was I thinking Hitachi had something to do with cartoons or something? European stocks extend gains after touching fresh record high. Let's look at crypto. All the crypto is down, even though Bitcoin's at 120,000. It's showing red, but that's higher than it was a couple days ago. I think a couple days ago we were talking about it, and it was at like 112 or 116. So it's definitely up from where it was a couple days ago. I guess it's where people are moving their monies there. Let's see. Do we have any stocks making the biggest moves? No, that's not mentioned up here today. For first-time hunters, a college degree isn't unlocking the opportunities it once did. For the first time, or for first-time job hunt, I'm thinking it's been that way. It's been that way. College degrees are not unlocking opportunities. That ain't just start. And that ain't just start. That didn't just start. That's been the way. That's been that way for a little while. Private payrolls declined in September by 32,000 in key ADP report coming amid shutdown data blackout. Yeah, we don't have the data we're looking for because the government shutdown. We don't get the information that we were looking to get now because why is my mouse? There we go. My mouse not showing what we need. We need the stuff from the mouse. Okay, so here we are. Some data that we got for for Friday. There we go. Come, machine. Help me. Help me. Okay. Today's meetings, 8:30. We had Goolsby speaking. These things were tentative. These US data pieces were tentative, and I guess we didn't get them. Unemployment rate, non-farm employment, those things, we didn't get that data because they come from the government. Okay, FOMC, Moran is going to speak. Final services PMI, ISM services PMI, that's coming at 9:45 and 10 o'clock. FOMC member Logan will speak. Yeah. So we heard from ADP. ADP is private information, right? So we got that. We didn't get they took it off because it was tentative, and now since we didn't get it, it came off the list once I refreshed it. Nope, we didn't get it because it comes from the government. All the things that come from the government are no longer on our expected data list because you can't expect data that comes from an organization that is closed. Okay, this is Friday. We're looking at investing.com, S&P Global Composite PMI. We're going to get PMI information at 9:45. And then at 10, we're going to see some non-manufacturing PMI information. So we've got data coming at 10. Logan is going to speak at 1:30. And Jefferson's going to speak at 1:40. All righty. So as I say, you all know my mantra. What is my mantra? Those who are with me. No, Ward, you were not the first this morning. Good morning, my day. What's my mantra? Anybody who listens to me every day or is with me for any length of time knows my daily mantra. Daily mantra: trade what you see. Trade what you see. Okay? Trade what you see. Trade what you see. Trade what you see, I say. 67.15 is what, nope, that's not where we are. That's SPX, and that was where we closed yesterday. And 67.20 is where SPX is right now. Let's go see what Adam has to say about what's happening in the world as far as in the market. Adam Mancini, you can find him on X. His take on things. Our theme lately of overnight squeeze, morning dip in SPX. All targets hit overnight. 66.97 was the long zone back test point yesterday. Targets were 67.17, 67.23, which was hit. 67.28 was hit. 67.34 plus was hit. Plan zero to do, but wait for the morning dip. Wait for the morning dip. 67.17 is first down, which is about where we are right now. Then 67.09, 66.97. Watch for traps of the overnight low. It's just a trap. It's just a trap. The gap between the ES and the SPX is about 48 points. So if you're watching Adam's tweets, then you could subtract 48 points from his numbers. If you're trading XSP, the range for XSP is about 669 to 674. If you're looking for outside ranges to trade for call credit spreads and put credit spreads, 669 to 674 is where we are. Okay. There's that. Okay. Before I go to talk about the membership, let's go back to the charts. What earnings did we have? I think Nike had earnings this week, didn't it? Didn't Nike have earnings this week? Did anybody trade Nike? I think I remember in Impact somebody talked about Nike's earnings. I don't know how it went. Anybody know how Nike's earnings went? I don't. Nike was Tuesday. We haven't brought up earnings in a while. Acuity Brands, Conagra was Wednesday. Yesterday was Angiodynamics. Today there is no earnings today. I hadn't mentioned it in a while, but still, I have a LinkedIn place. Educator to Trader is on LinkedIn, and there's some great information that I put over in LinkedIn. It's more educational over on LinkedIn, a whole different vibe over in that space. Okay, so there's a lot of educational content that I post over in LinkedIn. If you're already on LinkedIn, go ahead and follow me over there. I'm going to put the link into the comments. Follow me on LinkedIn. Again, a lot more educational content over on LinkedIn. I'd like to have you follow. You see, I only got a few little followers. I need to up my followers over on LinkedIn. I'm never one who's really like pushing for followers. Funny story. I had I had somebody who was imitating me or impersonating me, whatever the word is, over on like Instagram. Somebody had a whole new page that was acting like they were me. And they actually, people that they're not necessarily smart, they actually sent me a friend request or sent me like a follow request or whatever. And they were mimicking me, and they sent me a follow request, and I went and looked at their page. They had a whole bunch of followers. They had a whole bunch more followers than I had. I was like, well, you know what, when somebody is imitating you and killing the game, it's like you they got more followers than I had. My daughter thought that was really funny. She was like, they act like they imitating you and they got more followers than you got. I was like, yeah, they really own it. They were serious. They were much more serious about it than I was, because that's what I don't be out there trying to grab a bunch of followers and really doing it for that. That's not what I'm after, because to me that take a whole nother level of focus, a whole nother level of dedication and intentionality. And listen, it take what I got to make sure that I'm intentional about making sure I'm putting out good trades for my community, that I'm, trading well myself, that I am educating well. I'm really focused on that. I'm, to be honest, and I'm not just saying that. I'm really focused on that. I'm just trying to keep all of my own balls in the air. I'm trying to trade well for me. I'm trying to trade well for my community. I'm trying to teach well in my community. I'm trying to teach well at the university. I'm trying to, keep my home life intact. I'm trying to keep my spirituality intact. I'm trying to be active and where I'm supposed to be active. I mean, I'm busy, so growing a social media platform is not at the top of the list. Okay. If it happens along the way, then yes, I will post on Twitter some. I'm here on YouTube regularly because I think this is a part of what I do. But even on YouTube, I'm here on live streaming, and I'm live streaming to like 5 places at once, because that to me is the most effective way to like spread myself around at one time. I'm not trying to be in multiple places at once. I could be live in multiple places at different times. I'm like, I'm trying to be live one time and send it to multiple places. So I'm willing to pay StreamYard a grip, because StreamYard ain't cheap, but I'm willing to pay them to go to multiple places at once. Okay. I'm willing to pay for that convenience. But to grow social media platforms, I'm like, that's a lot of effort. I don't know if I got it in me just yet. Maybe somewhere in the future I might, but at this point, nah. I'm doing all I can do to keep to juggle what I got to juggle. I was like, if somebody would impersonate me and do it, make it do. But anyway, I would like to grow my LinkedIn platform. I would like to grow my LinkedIn a little bit better. I really would. So, anyway, this is Spy. This is where Spy is. I need to wrap up. I got about 5 or 6 more minutes. I want to be off of here by 5 after 9 at the latest. I want to be done here because I need to go get my coffee and get ready for 9:30 trading with my people. Again, I'm trying to be with my people. The people who are for me, I'm trying to be for them. That's where I'm trying to be. I'm trying to be showing up for the people who showing up for me. That's what I'm trying to do. So SPY closed yesterday at 669 and some change, and it is currently at 669 and some more change. So 669.13 is where it closed yesterday. It's at 669.78. So it's up about 60 cents, right? About 65 cents from yesterday's close. So kind of where it was yesterday is where it is right now. We're still about 35 minutes from the market opening. So there's still some time. There's still time. The moving averages are kind of dancing around. I'm on the 30-minute chart right now. So the moving averages, the 9 is kind of turning down. The 20 is going flat. The 50 is about flat. So it's kind of just chilling right now. The full time frame continuity shows the 30-minute red, the hourly red, 4-hour red. The day at this point is red. So that's what we got going as far as the SPY goes. Okay. Triple Q closed yesterday at 605.71 and it's currently at 606.34. So it's up about 50 cent, 60 cent also. It looked a lot like SPX looked yesterday. Pulled back real nice, hit some support at 603 and turned back around. IWM. Oh, it's coming back. Looks like the internet took a dip, baby, dip. The internet took a dip. So here we are. We're back. Hope y'all still here. I'm still here. Hope y'all still here. I'm still here. Internet dipped. Dip, baby, dip. Dip, baby, dip. Hey, Drew. Well, oh, Ward says I'm here. Wonderful. Okay, I went to IWM and looked down, and the circle was down there on the internet. And there it went. I was like, well, hey, Val. Oh, Ivy says I'm still here. Okay, cool. We're here. Well, sorry, y'all. The internet took a dip. I looked down like, what happened? It was spinning, and the circle for the world was down there where the internet was supposed to be. No, I need to see the Wi-Fi symbol, not the circle world, letting me know there is none. Nope. Okay. Well, wonderful. Thank y'all for hanging out. I love y'all. I really do. So IWM is where I was. IWM closed yesterday. IWM is the small caps. IWM is 243.99 and it's currently at 244.91. IWM's taking a move. I wonder if people are moving, S&P. The IWM don't move with S&P the same. SPY, triple Q, they dip and go the same as SPX. IWM kind of charts its own course because it's the small cap. It's not the same. It's not comprised. Those two things they're not comprised of the same stocks. So you can trade them separately. That's why we trade SPX and XSP and SPY and triple Q. That's like one bucket. And then IWM is a different bucket. So when you're trading them, you're trading two separate things. So if you're trying to like think about wanting to diversify, IWM is one bucket. SPX, SPY, triple Q, XSP, that's a different bucket. So you can do one of those and one of these when IWM and be in different buckets. That can be your diversification. If you'd like to just stick with an ETF, something like that, okay? I was going to say an equity. You could just stick with an equity, an ETF. That'll be a good way to diversify. Okay, so IWM is currently at 244.78. Our little 1 DTE strategy, we've been working it a little bit starting this week. I think, you know what, my call credit spread didn't pick up. So some people in my community, I think, got in the call credit spread. Mine didn't pick up. Just my put credit spread did. Didn't, at the end of the day, my order didn't feel. All righty, so that's where we are with that. I covered all of those, hit. Yes, I did. Okay, so before I go, I will talk about the membership. I will talk about the fact that I do offer our SPX and XSP trading membership where we trade together. We're actually going to live trade today. We get alerts. It's a selling strategy. We do call credit spreads, put credit spreads. The membership does not include weeklies on other stocks, but I end up talking about and including other stocks, even though it's not expressly including that. It does end up including that. Trade alerts on those, Sunday charting and training, what we do every week. One-on-one, everybody gets a one-on-one per quarter if they so choose to use it. We have a private Telegram group. I'm there. You get access to me, access to guidance, access to a group of people who are supportive, and we all trade together. We all hang out together and trade together in a very supportive space. It's really a great space that we've curated. If you want to join us over there, you can bit.ly. Well, I'm going to use my other website because this other website really is a better view, a more comprehensive and pretty view of what we really do. I think it's a great view of represents what we do there. All right, so you can go check us out over there. And then now we can go on to the declaration for the day because I want to be off by 5 after so I can get ready for 9:30. I declare I'm a great trader, a successful trader, and a focused trader. I declare my wins exceed my losses and my account is growing steadily. I'm a wise and knowledgeable trader. I have a strategy that I use for my trades. I don't randomly place trades. I'm a level-headed trader who trades my plan and not my emotions. Lord, it is you who gives us the power to get wealth. Deuteronomy 8:18. Help us today to trade our strategy with wisdom and knowledge. Allow us to prosper enough to have what we need enough to bless others in Jesus' name. Amen, amen, and amen. All righty. So today, as we do every day, we're going to, number one, trade what we see. Number two, our plan is to get some of this money, right? We're not trying to be greedy. We are not going to let greed overtake us. We're not going to be overtaken by fear or impatience, but we are going to use our strategies and our experience to pull in some of these profits. We absolutely are. And we thank you for the opportunity, Lord, to get some of this money. Yes, because we're going to get some of this money. All righty. Okay, everybody, we're going to do two things. We're going to stay green. We're going to get this money. All right, let's have a great green day, and I will see you in the market. Goodbye, everyone. Bye-bye.